Yesterday I told you about Kundalini. And that Kundalini is the pure desire within us. That manifests or is awakened to give us our self-realization. Means the desire is only fulfilled when you get your self-realization. Otherwise it is not manifested. It is just dormant. It is still residual. It has created the whole within us. But until and unless you get self-realization, unless and until you become one with your spirit, you have not achieved the manifestation of this power. It will go on making you run and run and run, thinking that you have not yet achieved or you have not found out your way. It will be there all the time, sleeping, but giving you a all right? Then this power has got certain qualities. The first quality it has got, this is urdhvagati. It goes against the gravity. It goes against the gravity. You see, a thing rises. It doesn't go down. So, a person has to be aspiring by nature. If a person is not aspiring type, the Kundalini doesn't rise. Because like, you see, when food passes down our stomach, it presses the sides of the intestines. By that these movements of going down takes place. You see my point? So when the Kundalini starts pressing on the sides of the chakras, she creates a feeling of throwing it higher and higher. So the chakras bounce it upward. All right? All the heavy things all go down. But the Kundalini rises higher and higher and higher because it is like fire. Fire never burns downward. It always burns upward. She looks also like fire. And she has the capacity of fire within her. The fire has a capacity to purify and to burn off whatever can be burnt off. It purifies the things which it cannot burn and burns off the things which are inflammable, which can be burnt off. Come along. Alright? So the quality of fire that exists in the Kundalini burns off whatever is useless. Like in our house, we find all the useless things. Then we take them in the garden and burn them. Finished. Once for all they are finished. So when the Kundalini rises, she also burns off all useless things. All your useless desires, your useless ideas of action, all sorts of useless accumulation of feelings and egos and every sort of a nonsensical thing that is in between. Everything is burnt off because they can be burnt. They are not eternal by nature. They are not eternal by nature. They are temporarily there. All that is temporary, she burns off. And that's how she enlightens the spirit. Because spirit cannot be burned by anything. But this burning is so beautiful that it burns off all that is bad, stagnating, all that is polluting, all that is a disease, and cools down the system. It is very interesting to see how Alright? It is very interesting to see how this power of fire becomes a cool breeze. But in the science also you find that electricity can give you hot breeze or cool breeze. You can transform from one to another. But there is no ultimate for these things. They are always reversible. Supposing something becomes a magnetism, you can always convert into electricity. Electricity can always be converted into magnetism. But Kundalini is such a thing that once she burns off everything that is there, that's how you get heat. Because she's burning. But when she cools down and becomes cool, then she is not reversible. That's why it is a living process. Living process is never reversible. All dead processes can be reversible. But anything that is reversible, now supposing you are grown up, you cannot become a little baby. Whatever you may try. You may have any number of operations, you cannot become a baby. Alright? So Kundalini within us expedites the living process within us of our evolution. So the power of Kundalini is to purify. She purifies us like fire. She doesn't purify us like water. Surprising. She doesn't purify us like water. Now water, what does the water do? Water never burns off anything. But it dissolves certain things. It can take in something within itself. See? It can contain some of the dirt within itself. Supposing you put a color in the water, it assumes the color. But Kundalini does not assume the color. She burns her. Do you follow my point? So if you have anything wrong within you, she'll burn it off. But she'll not absorb, she's pure. Now the sound of Kundalini, I have told you in one of my lectures, how it creates sound. For example, at Vishuddhi, it creates the sound of all the vowels that are in Sanskrit language. The English vowels are very few. Sanskrit language are a, I, u, ru, lulu, ai, o, ah. These are the sounds that Vishuddhi becomes. She creates sounds on all the chakras. But when she comes to Nadi, it becomes a Vani. Vani means information. Coded information. That's the nearest we can say. Coded information. First it is the Paravani, which you don't hear. When it rises from the Kundalini point, means Muladhara chakra, and Muladhara, then it is not heard. There is no sound. Then it comes to the stomach, the Paravani starts. Then it comes into the center, where in the heart, always you hear it, Madhyama, where you can hear it, lap, tap, lap, tap, lap, tap. Just like heart. Properly. With the stethoscope you can hear it. Then it comes to Vishuddhi, it becomes a witness, means Pashyanti, the one who sees. You might have noticed yourself when you are caught up in Vishuddhi, you feel the thing going on here. But here she sees. Then this sound, which is the sound with which you speak, when it comes to the throat, it becomes Vaikhari, it says. This is even before the Kundalini is there, the Vani, the coded information, the language, which is first only coded, becomes decoded here. It is called Vaikhari, it talks. But after realization, the Kundalini enlightens the Vani, as it enlightens everything else. Because of that enlightenment, your mantras become enlightened. And that's how, when you say a mantra, it is effective. It's lighted. Before this, any mantra said has no meaning. It's just ordinary Vani, just like any ordinary person. So it is called as the mantra which is Jagrut, awakened. So a mantra which is Jagrut cannot be created out of a mantra which is not enlightened. A dead form. Unless and until it is enlightened by Kundalini, it is from ordinary Vani which cannot give you enlightenment, and which cannot give enlightenment to the mantras. And that's why these mantras have no meaning at all. A person whose spirit is enlightened and his Vani is enlightened, such a person, whatever he says comes true. Whatever he asks for happens. Even before he says something, the desire within us, which is the Paravani, which is the coded information of the desire you have, becomes enlightened. And that's how you get the result. Suddenly you get something, you said, oh, I have struck the jackpot. And mother has done it. That's how it works. The whole system works out this way of Kundalini. So this pure Kundalini creates purity. Without the purity we cannot see anything. anything that is impure, say my hands are not clean, I can't see the lines. Anything that is dirty, you cannot see the real picture of it. You cannot see the reality if it is not being purified. But even if it is superficially purified or artificially painted, still you can always say that it is artificially painted and we cannot see the beauty of this one because this is done from outside. But Kundalini burns off it, bhasmas out, makes everything into ashes. And whatever remains is the pure gold of the spirit within us.